He's one of my favorites. So, a few years ago, I was brand new. Everybody knew Martin, and who's this other loser?
No, that's not true.
Oh, your voice is good.
My voice is
coaching all weekend. Anyways, Mike's one of the first guys. He had me out to Jersey, took care of me.
Begrudgingly.
Up at Rhino Wrestling Club, which I love Rhino Wrestling Club. And I love what you do, innovating, 24-hour lockdown workouts.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And the ninja workout. I mean, just finding new ways to have fun. And what's your approach?
That's the fun part. Is fun. These kids, they wrestle a lot. They wrestle almost to a fault sometimes. Kids in our state have a lot of opportunities, and we're very thankful for it. We've had guys like you guys and guys like Danny Mullins running tournaments and stuff like that. So we have a lot of opportunities to wrestle. The problem that we are now facing, and it's a problem that you want to have, is that these kids get exhausted with the sport. So my job becomes to find different ways to challenge them physically, mentally, and keep it fun. We do have a lot of fun at those lock-ins. It's a grueling 24 hours and it's pretty brutal, but we goof around. We say don't fall asleep, or we'll pull a car in there and beat the horn. Or, we open up the car door or the garage door and beat the horn at these kids while they're asleep.
Why not?
It was fun though, man. So we try our best to keep it as fresh and new and fun as possible.
Also, Mike, coaching that Middlesex National Champ this year.
Yeah, that was cool.
Awesome kid too.
Yeah, Johnny McArdle, Johnny Bangs we call him because he's got these awful emo bangs. So he's probably gonna wrestle out by your neck of the woods next year, out in Lindenwood.
Lindenwood, huh?
Yeah. So he really had a great tournament. We put a lot of things together, both physically and mentally. Looked good.
Okay, here's another thing. Mike Mal cannot wait for freestyle season. I called him up, like, I need you, Mike. Need you to come through, get me some Jersey kids here. He was so ready to flip the switch to freestyle. But I love you for it. Here he is with his guys at Flow Nationals. Do one more folk style tournament. Is it killing you?
It is. You know what, dude? Usually by January I go, all right, let's start doing guts because this is just ridiculous. No, it's not that I don't like folk. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I don't like folk style.
Why? All right, why freestyle
because
rather than
the purity of it. Now, don't get me wrong. Folk style has done amazing things for scrambling and things like that. But the purity of don't go to your back is always number one, right? Like, don't go to your back. So, and that's another thing we've had to, kind of innovate scramble wrestling for freestyle now too. You see a lot of the Russians, the way that they can scramble without exposure, it's amazing, dude. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the way that they're funk rolling without going to their back.
That reminds me, you got to watch the Otar Sultanov final against Lebedev. If you want to see an example, watch the end of that match. And it was
amazing.
Sick.
That was a crunch too.
Yeah. There's also Russian National Scrambles reel that's just all scrambles and flurries, and what they do is amazing.
We call it funk for free.
Funk for free?
Yeah, funk for free.
That's it.
That's it. That's another video you gotta watch. Mauricio.
So, what are your thoughts on Jersey kids here?
Doing well.
You know a little more than us.
No, that's not true. You guys that's the thing. Flow's kind of made everyone an educated coach, hasn't it?
I love plugs, Mike.
Well, no, I mean, really though, like everyone's just as educated as the most seasoned coach because they have access to Technique Wave, they have access to every match that's on Flow. They don't. I mean, you don't have to be like these kids know more about each other than I know about them, most of them. I mean, they're rattling. I have dads rattling off stats of kids that are 3 states away. I'm like, what? Who cares? Just wrestle, dummy. So No, but Jersey's doing well. You know, it's a rough field here, man. There's not an easy match, you know. So you can, you know, you see a couple down there. I saw a couple people from Jersey. They I don't want to say lucky, but they forced the action in the beginning of the match and caught a quick 5-point takedown and sat on it a little bit. But you know, they're getting the job. I think they're doing well.
So let me ask you this. This is something I think about a lot.
Your hair?
You know, this tournament's getting deeper and deeper, and one thing that's cool about Jersey is you guys are always around tough competition. Matches are tough. Kids are wrestling, club wrestling. And what's the you know, there's a lot of kids that are very technically good or can win tough matches, sure. But when you got to win 4 tough ones in a row,
that's
what's
the mental
difference?
aspect. That's the mental aspect, right? Because you know, you say that, right? You say these kids are used to grinding it, you know, during the season and the off season. But what happens a lot of times is that because the competition is so tough, there are coaches that'll find a schedule, like high school coaches that'll find a schedule or put together a schedule that really doesn't test their athletes as well as it could. Now, it's nice because they're going into the postseason with 30, you know, something wins, right? But they've never really been tested. They don't know what it's like to grind out a 3rd place finish in a tournament like this. And that's kind of one of the reasons a couple of kids that I brought with me this weekend didn't do as well as they thought they would, because they didn't know how to wrestle back. These kids are used to winning and being on the right side of the bracket. Well, guess what, dude? You go to a tournament like this, you ain't gonna be on the right side of the bracket for very long and keep on thinking that way, you know? So, yeah, it becomes a mental aspect. You can't allow them to have a mental slip.
Hey, Cliff Fretwell here. Are you going to hang out down at the compound this year?
One more time. I think
Jersey's coming down to the compound. It's going to be sick. Malinconico, they literally just slept out in the parking lot on
that's how we do.
Straw beds.
Look, man, look, that's how we do.
That's 4th of July weekend. Troy Letters will be in town. Malinconico's bringing a ton of Jersey boys. Joeflo and Bader are coming. They just don't know it yet. Somebody from the Flow Wrestling community will die that weekend, I promise. It'll be a fantastic death, though.
That was great. Hey, you remember last year? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, let me tell you, last year, before we shot off fireworks, the Jersey boys shot off half of the fireworks at each other in the lake.
That sounds very Jersey.
Oh, yeah, it was.
We had kids in the lake.
5 days, and then we hung out.
It was good, man. It was good. The kids were shooting bottle rockets and Roman candles at one another. It was a good time.
Fretwell, everyone throwing this tournament together, so big shout out to Fretwell,
Throwing it together. Throwing it together. Oh, just throwing it together.
We just threw it together.
Hey, it's like
Yeah, it's kind of like Joeflo's hair. By the way, let this guy know how good he's starting to look. Used to tournaments, I'd come, Joe's sitting over in the corner eating a cheesesteak, just fat, sweating gravy the whole time. Now, we get done putting up mats, Joe's out here doing crunches, no joke, for like an hour.
No.
Crunches, lemon squeeze
Stop.
crunches.
Stop.
This guy's getting shredded. Look out, ladies.
You gotta always love a little bit of Fretwell entertainment.
I could listen to that. Dude, I could listen to that guy read the obituaries, and it would be entertaining.
Because he would have something crazy to say. I don't know. It takes everything to the next level.
Am I done here? This is silly. I feel stupid. I do.
You look good, though. All right, then I gotta ask my last question. You got anything else for us, Mike?
No.
Appreciate everything you do.
Let's go find someone else.